Hello dear friends, welcome to our channel. In this video, let us learn the types of cement and its uses according to the variation in Bogues compound and its proportion also. Now let us move to the video. In the last video, we have seen the Bogues compound and how it is formed. Bogues compounds are formed when the base materials are mixed, burnt and grind together. The end product after grinding is the Bogues compound. When we vary this proportion, new types of cement will be formed. Before learning how to vary the proportion, we have to know what are the significance of these individual compounds. So let us see that. When we add water to cement, the particles in the cement reacts with water. This process is known as hydration. At the time of hydration, the first compound to react with water is tricalcium aluminate, which is C3A. At the time of this process, more heat is produced. This tricalcium aluminate doesn't play any role with the strength. However, the setting of cement is governed by this tricalcium aluminate. After this reaction, the water reacts with tricalcium silicate. When tricalcium silicate reacts with water, it produces less heat. This tricalcium silicate governs the initial strength of the cement. Initial strength means the strength till 7 days of setting of cement. The next compound to react with water is dicalcium silicate. Dicalcium silicate is responsible for later strength. Later strength means after 7 days of setting of cement. Tetracalcium aluminoferrite, which doesn't play any role with setting and strength. However, it is a filler material. After knowing this significance, let us see how it is important. If we need a low heat cement, then we have to see which compound responsible for heat. It is C3A and C3S. If we reduce C3S, the strength of cement will fall. So we have to reduce C3A. If we reduce C3A, that means tricalcium aluminate, heat will be reduced and the cement will be formed as low heat cement. We will see that in this table. If all the Bogues compounds are as mentioned approximately in the table above, then the cement formed is Portland cement. If we need rapid hardening cement, rapid hardening means within 7 days the cement must gain good strength. Which compound is responsible for that initial strength? It is C3S, which is tricalcium silicate. If we need rapid hardening cement, then we have to increase tricalcium silicate. So that is given here. We have to increase tricalcium silicate, decrease dicalcium silicate, and tetracalcium aluminoferrite is kept as it. Rapid hardening cement is used in repair works. Suppose in a heavy traffic, a pothole is formed in road. Then what we have to do? We have to divert the traffic and we have to repair it. After repairing, the traffic must flow freely. So what it means? The repair work must gain its strength earlier. So in those places, this rapid hardening cement is used. Likewise, this rapid hardening cement is used where shuttering to be removed very quickly. This rapid hardening cement is not advisable for mass concrete as it produces heat much. Next one is low heat Portland cement. As we know that heat can be reduced in a cement when tricalcium aluminate is reduced. So that is done here. It is used in mass concrete like dams, abutments and retaining walls. Next is sulfate resistant cement. C3S and C2S is kept equally and C3A and C3AF is reduced. This sulfate resistant cement is used in marine structures and sewage treatment plants. This type of cement is formed with addition or removal of certain oxides by which the end product obtained cement will give a different property. Let us see that. In the earlier video, we have seen the oxides which composites the base material of the cement. With those oxides, if we add gypsum and granulated blast furnace slag, the cement formed will be Portland slag cement. This Portland slag cement will possess low heat of hydration, resistance to chloride, sulfate, alkali, etc. This Portland slag cement is used in marine works. Next is Portland pozzolana cement, PPC. As I said initially, with the composition oxides, pozzolana materials such as volcanic ash or fly ash or burnt clays mixed, then the formed cement is Portland pozzolana cement. This Portland pozzolana cement also possesses low heat of hydration and resistance to chemical attack. This is used for hydraulic structures, canals, sewers, etc. Next one is white cement. White cement is used for color washing, precast stones, tiles, etc. For obtaining white cement, what we have to do is we have to remove the iron and magnesium oxides and add sodium, aluminum and fluorides. If we need a different color, then we have to add chromium, which gives green color, addition of cobalt will give blue color and iron oxide will give brown, black, red or yellow colors. Next is expansive cement. Commonly used Portland cement possesses shrinkage character. This shrinkage happens at the time of hardening of cement. This shrinkage may sometimes lead to the variation in dimension where the cement is used. Minor variations will have influence in machines which must be assembled at a greater accuracy to avoid eccentricities. So at that places this expansive cement is used. This expands slightly so that the dimension to which we are casting the concrete is maintained as that. Expansive cement is manufactured by adding sulfo-aluminate clinker and stabilizers. Next is air entraining cement. Air entraining cement is used in cold areas. Next one is hydrophobic cement. Hydrophobic cement is used where watertight condition is very essential. It is formed when we add water repellents like oleic acid or stearic acid. These chemicals will form a film-like layer which is a repellent around the cement grains by which the watertight condition is achieved. So that's all for today, friends. I hope this video is informative. Kindly like this video, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.